Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Chris Taylor, advocate of the devil, and today's topic has been one that's been on my mind pretty much since I first had an internet connection. It should be fairly obvious that words are quite important to me. I use a lot of them, and I use them quite often. And while some of you may be thinking,
would you please shut the hell up?
I'd like to think that with the rising popularity of this very show, some of you are actually listening to what I'm saying.
Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth?
With the rising prevalence of words like YOLO, swag, and hashtag everything under the sun, there is something that I need to get off my chest. I absolutely, positively cannot stand—
Taylor.
Boss?
You're about to start ranting. Yeah. Not what I hired you for.
What are you talking about? This is exactly what you hired me for. Find something that everyone agrees on and then talk about the opposite of that.
No, Chris. I hired you to speak positively about that which most people speak negatively on. Now, failure to comply will result in the termination of our contract. And where I come from, the term fired is quite literal.
What about afterwards? Can I speak my mind then?
No.
I guess today we're defending NetSpeak. Allow me to introduce to the Internet Court Exhibit A. You may remember this from your time as a child playing tic-tac-toe with your friends. However, now it is simply referred to as the hashtag. Once, this was used merely before writing down telephone numbers. But let's face it, nobody uses phones to call people anymore. Now it's used all across the world on Twitter, a world where people share their thoughts and ideas globally and use this symbol to single out a single word or small phrase to trend it all across the planet. Now some would say that 140 characters isn't enough to get an entire thought out.
Blah, blah, blah.
I don't say blah, blah, blah.
However, most people have a tendency to ramble on and take paragraphs to get a point across when a single sentence would suffice. Editors spend their entire lives looking at other people's manuscripts and cutting out pages worth of words to streamline the entire work in question. There are times where less is more, and the hashtag allows viewers to hone in on a single thought. The other benefit is worldwide trending. You get to better understand what really concerns the general population based on what everyone is talking about. All thanks to a symbol that was once called the pound key. Now people are pounding away, sharing their thoughts with anyone that has an internet connection. Isn't that just wonderful?
That was sarcasm.
No way, really? Because so is that, just now.
Next up isn't just one word, it's four, turned into an acronym. YOLO. Standing for You Only Live Once, this is actually an updated version of the Latin Carpe Diem, which means seize the day. The problem is, nobody's really spoken Latin outside of an Exorcist movie in centuries. Latin is a dead language. However, parts of it are used in words we use to this very day in the English language. And that's the point. As times change, so too do the people within it, and the language we all use. Words need to evolve and grow as time goes on and society changes. If all we ever did was stick to the old ways, people would still be talking like this.
And at his ales, lashed in like hounds, should famine, sword, and fire crouch for employment.
Nobody talks like that anymore. Anymore being the key word. That used to be communication. If we stubbornly stuck to that way of speaking, all these videos would be a half an hour long. And even I don't have that kind of patience. Most of the people I know couldn't stand these readings in school. On top of that, ye old English plays published nowadays have translation guides on the pages so that we can better understand what they were trying to say in the first place. If we can simplify language to be better understood, we will be more easily understood all across the world. That being said, a picture is worth 1,000. Oh God, no.
Goose fraba. Goose blah blah.
Sorry about that. A picture is worth 1,000 words. Words that don't even need to be said. From picturesque photos of the setting sun, tourist attractions like castles in Europe or Niagara Falls, pictures can convey an emotion that simple descriptive words sometimes fail to. And when it comes to the human form, there's a type of photo for that too. The selfie. My hand on the Bible, this is a true story. I have tried for many an hour to find another word for this. However, there's none. Self-portrait comes close, but it's an extra word and an extra syllable, and this is the internet. Who has time for that?
This person.
Before we could take photographs, there were people who would draw or paint you while you stood still for sometimes hours at a time. But now, with a device we all carry with us everywhere, all we gotta do is point and click. Instant self-portrait. Sorry. Instant selfie. And the word itself, honestly, couldn't possibly mean anything else. With the English language, there are many words that sound the same but mean different things. But that one word, selfie, it can only mean one thing. Despite overwhelming evidence to the contrary, I do hope I helped shed some light into the evolution of our language. Whether it be in the acronyms we use to describe a fact that we should all know, or a shortened word for an old pastime from days gone by. Or even the fact that one symbol has the power to reach billions of like-minded individuals.
Leave symbols to the symbol-minded.
In order for society to evolve, our language must change as well, to match the changes that this planet's peoples undergo. And since communication is key, feel free to let us know in the comments below what you think of our language, or any others I may have missed here, so that I can comment as well. But for now, as it pertains to the internet speak, the defense rests. All right, are we good? Ugh. Good. I absolutely